All right, boys. So it's currently my Friday, and basically we have a lot of stuff to do, but I don't have to be into work like officially until 10 a.m. So it's 7:30 right now. I moved the sheep yesterday into a new paddock, so I might have to go. Actually, I might have to go check on them first, and then I really want to weld the flex pipe onto my Jeep, but I mess up the brakes so bad that I can't drive the Jeep. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the sheep first, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go through the shop, grab the jack stands and some cribbing, take the wheel off of the Jeep, and try to fix that. So let's do it. All right, so that's actually pretty cool. I watched a YouTube video and all this kind of stuff. I don't even know what people did back in the day when they didn't have YouTube, but basically, I'm gonna put my shoes on while I'm doing this, but basically what I'm gonna have to do is, thank God I got this camera, because I'm gonna have to check whether or not, take the wheel off, check whether or not, because like the wheel bearings are getting super hot. There's a groundhog out there that I want to shoot, but I'm not going to. He's looking right at me. He's a fat boy. He's just eating the grass right now. But we gotta see basically if the piston retracts properly, because that's what I'm thinking is not happening. I think that basically like the piston is compressing, right? And then that's gonna basically cause the wheel bearing to, or like you know what I should really do? What I have to do anyway is just replace the rotors, right? But that's another, I mean, I can't really drive the thing. I mean, it's got shitty rotors on it because I think the piston was compressed basically, and then it never, so that, okay. All right, I'm thinking about this in my mind, all right? As a fat groundhog, I have crazy ADHD, if you can't tell. That's why I work on a dairy farm, because there's always something to do. There's a giant hole in my boot right now. But basically, okay, that makes sense. And maybe, okay, we'll see. I'll pull off the caliper, polish it up, and then low key, I didn't know that with the brake pads, if the brake pads don't fit easily, you can grind them down and make them fit better, like on the actual nubs itself, because I had a hell of a time on that side putting the brake pads back in. And I was freaking out. I was just like, this is the most tedious thing I've ever done in my entire life. So let's freaking go. Okay. That makes me feel better. But also, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Once you get into like rebuilding things, man, that's like when I'm like, okay, I mean, I can do a certain amount of stuff, and it's always about your brakes is a little bit of a touchy thing. So, well, let's get it. So the Ford starts up every time. Right, I've had no issues with this Ford. It's over 20 years old. It's registered as an antique, which technically I shouldn't be driving it as my daily, but I do every single time. And yeah, this thing's the most reliable vehicle I've ever owned in my entire life. And it's funny because I have to drive back. I'm gonna chill with my parents before I go to Nebraska. And basically my parents are like, oh, everybody is super worried about me driving this thing 3 hours. And I'm like, dude, I think I could drive this thing. I'm not worried in the slightest. Plus, like, it's really not that hard to fix this thing unless the engine blows up, you know? And I'm like, just keep the oil, keep the coolant going good, and, like, I think we'll be good, you know? But the Jeep, man, I'm like, I'm worried about the brakes in the Jeep, the exhaust is falling off, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'd much rather, I honestly feel better. Does this thing even have airbags? I don't know. But I honestly feel better driving the Ford than the Jeep, 100%. So, as you can see, that grass is growing back nice. It finally rained yesterday, probably like 1/3 of an inch, which is, we'll take anything, you know? But I'm trying to slow these guys down. They probably got one more subdivision, and then I'm gonna move over here to that place that I was just talking to, because like, I think that they can stay there for, I mean, if I give them a big paddock, which is basically 2 nets, 2 electro nets, then they'll be able to stay for a little bit. But yeah, right now I just, I'm gonna lock them in because I gave them just 1 extra net right here, and I probably should move them. I know this isn't really making any sense, but there's 2 nets basically, and you can combine them to make 1 big paddock for them. Sometimes you just give them 1 net if you just want to extend it a little bit, but it's better to, I mean, it's easier for me because I don't have to move them as much if I do just 1 big paddock. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. All right, so feel good about this. This is gonna be a huge paddock for him, so. What's up, bud? It's just incredible how much these guys have grown on just grass. And I really didn't give them much else. Grass and water, man. That's it. I didn't even have to plant the grass. That shit was just here. That's what I think is amazing about this type of agriculture is like, man, you can really make the inputs very little. Just fence, maybe a solar charger, truck, cheap truck. You know, you can make it work with just a little bit. Just need the animals and they'll do their thing and they'll eat the grass, and if the sun shines and it rains a little bit every once in a while, it should be good. And then you can create protein for people to eat. That's good for them. They know the drill. There's a giant grasshopper right here. It's pretty. Oh, he jumped off. I don't think he's doing too good. All right, guys. Come out. Have fun. Don't buck me, bro. It's the big ram. He always runs at me, and I'm like, dude, he's gonna kill me. But he just wants some scratches, like, buddy. It's gotta be the biggest paddock I've ever made for him. So, and then I'm gonna close this off right here because I don't want them to spend, because they spent 2 days in here, so I don't want them to go back in there because that would be kind of like a third day for them. So, there's a little bit of an opening in that gate over there. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So, I'm just gonna go and close that off before they run right through it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's raining on this side of the pasture. It's not raining over here. I'm standing like right in the middle. So cool. Anyway, so this is all locked up. We got the solar charger going and we're gonna turn it on. Boom. They've been doing really well with the fence all year, so we should be good. And they got so much to eat. So super happy about this. And I won't have to worry about it for a little bit. It's currently 8:30. I just have these right here. I'm just gonna give them some kelp. And they're gonna absolutely love it. But yeah, some of these rams are really coming into their own. And it's crazy because it's like I've been seeing these guys every single day for, let's think, since May. So May, June, July, August. So 4 months straight. Don't turn your back on a ram. There we go. It actually worked. Don't buck me, bro. Okay. One sec, boys. One sec. Okay. You get some, you get some. And I bought this thing of kelp. Like, I for the entire 3 months, this has lasted me 3 months. Because you don't have to give them very much, so. And this bag is expensive. I think it was like $100 or something like that, so. And I literally just been like throwing it in the back of my truck. They freaking love that shit. So, but anyway, let's get out of here.